520. And but Katie Rader from the chat room sent us this. This is top conferences for NIL compensation. And number one, Craig, is the Big 12. Now, I think that factor is twofold. One is Texas Tech, who we talked about earlier. The second to me would be Texas. And 50% of those schools will not be in this conference a year from now. So I think that will change.
Well, Oklahoma, let's not pretend like they don't spend NIL money. I'm pretty sure, and it all gets very confusing, but I'm pretty sure with the Sooners that they've got something similar to Texas Tech, if not even – I don't know how wide-ranging it is, but I'm pretty sure there's like a per like everybody makes $25K type of a setup there. I don't remember the exact details, but Texas does too, right? Like remember the offensive line class a couple years back where they all just got $50K or whatever that, in general, that's what it was reported as. I think Oklahoma's got something similar to Texas Tech and Texas in that regard. So, those three
Barry
alone.
Switzer runs it.
Which was funny because he seemed to push back on the idea of NIL when he was on the show. And then I mentioned the players, like the momentum swinging, and all of a sudden he had to go. And it was really, really weird. It was like right after that question. But, he's involved in that, and they're doing like everybody else. So, those three, and I can't really speak to the rest of the schools, but they take a huge chunk for sure.
Number 2 is the Big Ten. No surprise there. Number 3, the Pac-12 spends more than the SEC, and the ACC comes in 5th there on that list. And of course, we don't have exact numbers here, but seeing the ACC in 5th is not a surprise to me because you have way more schools that are a lot smaller that won't than the big ones that do. I mean, Clemson and FSU and North Carolina alone are going to take up a big chunk of what their NIL dollars are as a conference. Spending at Miami is in there as well. But then you have Wake. Look, Wake lost Sam Hartman for 2 reasons. One, Notre Dame could bowl them over when it came to NIL. And 2, he needed to move into an offense potentially that would be better for him to showcase a potential NFL run for him. So those are the 2 things that happened, and I don't know which was more important than the other for Sam Hartman. I know what would be for me would be the money, but so he went to Notre Dame. Duke probably has a bunch of NIL for basketball, but maybe not so much for football. So it doesn't surprise me there. So seeing the SEC in 4th was kind of a shock to me.
Yeah, that green dot next to their name apparently means that they've bumped up since the last, 12 months, or like the very tiny writing there at the bottom. It mentions that the green icon arrow pointing up indicates an increase in category ranking from months 1 through 22, which is through April 30th. Of 2023 to months 1 through 20. Okay, so that's basically what it is. You can figure that part of it out, but it makes me very hesitant to believe this because I don't for one second think that those 3. The Big Ten, you could say, okay, the Big 12 I could kind of sort of like see an angle there, but still don't even believe that. Pac-12, same thing. So I guess this is what they could document and confirm, and I don't think they counted all the dollars that are actually floating out there because I have a really hard time believing that.
Look, Texas A&M alone.
Exactly.
Would lead me to believe that would be that they'd be higher on the list considering what they doled out for the recruiting class a year ago.
And if the Pac-12 is spending more NIL money than the SEC and ACC at this point, then where's the money? There's not really money issues going on. I don't know. Like that doesn't seem to add up to me. Not to say that they don't know what they're doing by any means, but it's hard. You would never have guessed that. You'd never say the SEC was in 4th on a list like that, and so it's just hard to believe.
Yeah,
but interesting to look at for sure.
And that is from Open Doors, is a company that if you're a college athlete, you can put your profile on Open Doors.
It might be their Open Doors numbers that they used, and not counting every other thing that's out there. That's possible too.
So, for example, if Graham or Emory were college athletes, they could put themselves on Open Doors. I don't know if maybe they can anyway.
Let's see. You got to read the fine print. Student athletes affiliated with these conferences have earned most compensation since July 1st, 2021, according to an anonymized Transactions completed or disclosed through Open Doors.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's the Open Doors tallies, and not necessarily the whole full meal deal.
So the Open Doors really loves the Big 12 because they're
working well for them.
Working out well for them. We'll take a break right here when we come